I'm going to tell you what happens if you're already on 9 penalty points and you receive another speeding ticket. Let's assume for this video that you're just over the speed limit, let's say 5 or 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, and also that you're not eligible for a speed awareness course. Now, the speeding ticket normally comes in the form of a conditional offer of a fixed penalty for 3 points and £100. You can't accept that fixed penalty, and in fact, even if you did accept the fixed penalty, eventually the £100 will be refunded to you once the police realise that you were not eligible for a fixed penalty. The police can't deal with you in this situation because the police can't put penalty points on your licence which take you up to 12 points, and the police can't disqualify you from driving because the rule is that once you're on 12 penalty points, then for most people there's a mandatory 6-month disqualification from driving. Now, the way that happens is that the police will refer the case to a magistrates court, and you will receive something called a single justice procedure notice. Now, that's a magistrates court procedure which is dealt with by one magistrate. When you receive that notice, if you plead not guilty, then the case goes to court just like any other not guilty plea. That's if you have some kind of defence. But let's assume for the moment that you're going to plead guilty. If you plead guilty, then there are two ways that the case can be dealt with. If you accept that you're going to be disqualified for 6 months, then you can consent to that being done under the single justice procedure. You'll be sent a notice and given a date when that's going to happen. If you don't challenge it, then you're going to get a disqualification for a minimum period of 6 months. Sometimes it can be longer. I'm not going to go into the rules now, but most of the time, a first time totting disqualification or penalty points disqualification is for 6 months. If you don't want to be disqualified, if you want to avoid a disqualification, then you can ask for the case following a guilty plea to be heard by a magistrates court, to be heard by a full court. And then you can go along to court and you can put forward reasons why you should not be disqualified for 6 months. Now, there are a few ways that can happen, but in the vast majority of cases, the only way to avoid a totting disqualification is if you can prove that you or somebody else will suffer exceptional hardship as the result of a 6-month ban from driving. That has to be done in court, so you have to ask for a hearing, you have to turn up in person, you have to provide evidence to prove your case. And if you can prove your case, then the magistrates might not disqualify you for that 6-month period. As I said, there are some other variations and different ways you can be disqualified and other reasons to avoid the ban, but that's the way that the case will work for the vast majority of people.